We know where the poor are. We know who has the resources. We just try to connect the two.
I'm a conduit, I feel, by God through the organization to be a hand to the people.
As we're getting out from behind the pews and directly serving the poor.
If you care to...
I've become a better father and a husband because of the lessons I've learned from Catholic Watchmen.
We have in the church the greatest source of grace in the universe. The goal is heaven, and this is the family to live life in if we want to get there.
Without Rachel's Vineyard Twin Cities, there's many men and women that would not have the opportunity to receive the healing that they so long for.
This is often something that is confessed on a deathbed.
People hurt by abortion don't just need forgiveness, they really do need to be healed physically, emotionally, and spiritually by God's divine mercy and love.
And I really challenge you guys to be vulnerable with each other. Sometimes people think that the church is dying, but I want to reassure people that the church within the youth is very alive.
I was born into this faith, but as I got older and older, I started falling more in love with God and doing it more for myself instead of just making my parents happy.
And we don't emphasize enough how much these teens need purpose in life.
It's such a great joy to help teens encounter Jesus Christ, to know that He's real, to know that He is alive, and to live their faith more fully.
It's just really a blessing for us to do this for them, and we receive blessings in return. It's kind of like a win-win for all parties.
It's a remarkable privilege that I have to see how Jesus can change lives, just as He changed the life of myself.
It's like an entire life lived and is painted by grace and by joy, so much joy.
I need somebody to go back there and get some more bread out the box.
What happens when somebody encounters the love of God in their life and the love of the church, they begin to become a kind of person like Jesus. And they want to help people, and they want to give back to people, and they want to make this world a better place. We try to create environments and opportunities where students can connect with Jesus in a personal way, but a lot of our time is spent helping students, wherever they're at, get to a better place in their faith life.
Hold in my heart just the goodness of the Lord's word. So that's just the way the Lord impacted me on the retreat.
That's kind of the call for Catholics right now. Like, why are you Catholic? That's kind of the question. Maybe I haven't asked that directly, but that's the question that has been kind of going around just in general. And for me, it was like, well, I want to be Catholic. I don't really care what the pressures are around me because the Lord is true and alive in the Eucharist.
There's the two senses in which the church is both a spiritual reality, but also a human reality. And that spiritual reality we place our trust in. But for the human reality, we hope in.
Actually, God is infinite, and when we have a lack of hope, we limit who He is.
Faith isn't supposed to be something that's just kept in a box.
We need to share God's love.
God has called us to be stewards over the resources that He's given us, to be responsible to make sure people are clothed and fed.
I've always felt that life is so much bigger than ourselves.
It's not always what can God do for me today. It's what am I doing for God today?
It's about people. It's about leaving this world a little better than when you first entered it. If Catholics aren't taking that responsibility and they aren't living out their faith through their actions, then faith just becomes stagnant.
We're part of something that's bigger than ourselves and something more spectacular than ourselves, more beautiful than ourselves.
We have to raise our voice. Yes, it is beautiful to be a Catholic.
Our faith is a relationship, and it's the deepest, most profound relationship that we're called into.